Welcome back. Random TV Reviews, your girl Annette. Quick caps, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's hit it. Side dishes and side pieces. We start off where we got Kenya and Sheree having this little dialogue with each other. Kenya wants to know, hey, what's going on between you and Bob, child? I had to let him go. He crazy as hell. Girl, what's going on between you and Matt? Girl, he crazy as hell. Oh, that makes two of us. We're single now, ready to mingle. Oh, by the way, I'm about to have my housewarming. You know, you're welcome to come through. So Peter flies in from Charlotte to Atlanta to get a divorce and to grab him some chicken wings from over at the Old Lady Gang restaurant, right? While they're on their way to wherever they were going at this time, Todd gets a telephone call from Apollo because Todd had picked Mr. Peter, Uncle Ben, up from the airport. It's a call from Apollo, Nida. It wasn't Mendeece's this time. It was Apollo for real this time. Apollo calls and was like, hey, man, you know I got this situation going on. Not gonna be able to come through and support y'all on this restaurant, but I got something even better for you. I'm about to send my new boo through there. I was like, come again here? Hey, what? He said, you know, have you seen my kids? You seen my boys? You know, what's going on with that? I said, hey, your lady and my old lady, they don't get along. So I ain't seen your boys, so I saw it. You know, I probably told you that I would hold you down like that, but when the ladies get into their lady mess, ain't nothing I can do about it. So then here come Apollo. He drops the ultimate tea, right? Which had already played out in the blogs and all that stuff. Apollo said, you know, Phaedra tried to come up here, right? Talking about some, oh, you know, they're putting pause on the paperwork for the divorce, this, that, and the third. It's being held up. But he said all the while, she's continuing with the proceedings and trying to get stuff going through litigation and all that stuff to benefit her. And he said, but I got something for. So I said, so wait a minute. You mean to tell me y'all ain't divorced? He said, no, bro, we ain't divorced. I said, oh, here we go. So then that daggone Peter said, you know what, I'm both sick of Phaedra. He said, one minute she's shouting and calling the Holy Ghost and want to pray and preach to people, and she ain't nothing but a daggone wolf in sheep's clothing. I said, or the lack of clothing. But you know what this remind me of? Phaedra and this 13-month pregnancy that she was in. She lies about every goddamn thing. Why lie when the truth will do? So we got this quick scene where we have Cynthia telling Noelle, say, hey girl, you know, as of today, me and Uncle Ben are not married anymore. So Noelle's looking at her like, oh Lord, I got to counsel her and hold her while she sleeps tonight. But she was like, you know, how you feel about it? She said, I don't really know how to feel about it. You know, I still love him, all that good stuff. But I think I spent the first 50 years of my life pleasing everybody else. So the last 50 of my years or whatever gonna come afterwards, I'm gonna please myself, do what I gotta do. And Noelle says, well, how Peter feel about this? She was like, I don't know. Next thing we know, we see a little clip of Peter telling his Uber or Lyft driver, we don't know which one, to swing me on by my old place for old time's sake. He looks at the place and he was like, you know, in a million years, I would have never guessed I would not be living here no more. He said, I thought I was going to be in this place for the rest of my life. He was like, but I was on the train still going, and Cynthia had already jumped off and to stop ahead. And he was like, all right, driver, just pull off. Ain't nothing for me to see here. So over at the Old Lady Gang restaurant, y'all know Todd, this is his baby. You know, it's for the ladies. It is for Candy, but this is Todd's baby. Todd been doing everything himself, but there's a lot of stuff that ain't coming together at the last minute, and he refuses to get help from everybody else to do the little finishing touches. Don Juan was like, look, we ain't got no uniforms. The pictures ain't up. Tomorrow we need people to come through and set up. We need people to set up for the photo booth, all this good stuff. Candy was like, said something about the O2, something about some liquor ain't gonna be ready. Candy was like, you know what, this ain't gonna be ready. What we not gonna do, I'm not gonna be embarrassed like Kenya, and Sheree and all the rest of them when they do their events and it is half-a. I'm not doing that. We doing this thing right. Candy looked over at the chef and said, so what about the food? The food gonna be all right? He said, you know what, everything in that kitchen is working. Food is the least of your worries right now. I got all up in his feelings, was like, oh, what you trying to say? Is that shade? You trying to shade at me like I'm not gonna get stuff done and this? He said, nah, bro, that ain't. I said, you know what, Todd? If you don't sit your little insensitive hind parts down, what he basically was saying, hey, you ain't got to worry about the food because I got that. So, we over at Sheree's condo. She said she been at the condo for 4 years. How long she been building the chateau? I swear it feels like it's been more than 4 years. But anyway, so she's packing up. Her dog is humping a freaking teddy bear. I don't know why we needed to see that. Her youngest daughter, she's over there packing up the stuff. Her she's giving her daughter this little speech about, you know, when we got kicked out of the big house, I was determined I was gonna build this chateau for you and my family. And the little girl's looking at her mama like, but are we gonna move before my first gray hair pops in? Cairo is over there. Now let me tell you something. Cairo's over 18, so I can talk about him. She's asking Cairo, pick up a box, help do this, help do that. Cairo's like, I'm sitting there like, Cairo, give him a heartbeat. I said, that's what it's supposed to do. Look, that loud got him moving in slow mo. Ooh. Cairo done took a trip and he ain't never left the condo. He just out there. All right, so we see that it is Phaedra's birthday getting ready to come up. Phaedra's having this little ice cream social with her mom, her dad. I think this is the first time I've ever seen her dad, but she looks just like her dad. I thought she was like her mom until I looked at her dad. And mom and dad is in town, and she said, you know, while, you know, they're in town, they're gonna babysit the kids for the weekend while I celebrate my birthday. And I said, oh, I don't see Phaedra mama more than a little bit. What, are we an idiot? When did she not live in town? Because for some reason, for me, I thought she lived down the street. She's always at the house. I mean, they acting like she flew in from Japan to babysit these kids. I'm like, now Phaedra, you know, she been dressing real provocative for all these episodes, but now she's the Southern Belle in front of her mother, the pastor and co-pastor, and she was like, you know, they don't believe in divorce, but in certain circumstances, yeah, go ahead and sign those papers. And she said, that's what I did. I said, yeah, lying wonder. So for Phaedra's birthday, we got Frick decided, hey, we gonna have us a pajama party. We gonna have a nightcap, because that's what it looked like. She pulls out all her wigs, and she was like, you know, basically Phaedra been having the same basic look since I've known her. She don't got a divorce. We need to get her something new, fresh, and let's get it popping. So she pulls the wigs out, put them all on the bathtub. She got a onesie for Phaedra. When Phaedra finally showed up over there, she got on another bodysuit. Where I could see the whale tail. Okay, let's back up. When we were in Hawaii, Phaedra said that bathing suit that she had on, yeah, she was 18 years old when she had when she last wore that bathing suit. Last week she had on a bodysuit. I ain't seen one of them since 1996. This week she had on another one. So did she go to her mama house and go to the attic and just found a box of all her old clothes and just decide that every week I'm just gonna put on a piece and act like this is something new? I'm so confused. But they go upstairs and she said, hey girl, I got something for you. Let me go ahead and get you to stuff yourself up into one of these daggone onesies. And so, you know, we can be the freaking frack that we always are. They put the little outfits on. And let me tell you, Portia said, let me go and fix you up. And she gave her a makeover, and I am gonna say that I ain't mad. I said, okay. Portia, you did that. I'm gonna go ahead and let you have that. You did that, girl. So we over at the Old Lady Gang restaurant. It all came together. They have everybody coming in. The Old Lady Gang show up, minus Mama Joyce at first. Bertha said, hey, what you not gonna do is catch me slipping. So she went and ordered her one of them Beverly Johnson wigs. I'm trying to tell you, the older folks ordered the Beverly Johnson from the catalog, got it shipped in. She had that sucker on. She was happy, sipping on some drink. She said, Todd, it look good in here. She said, you've been working so hard. I thought you were one of the maintenance men when I pulled up. Nora said, oh, I'm happy that you did this, and I'm so appreciative, but I need you to go take a bath and change your clothes before you go and come and hug up on my neck. That's what I'm gonna need you to do. Mama Joyce finally comes up in there, and I said, now why she try to come up in there like she Robin Montgomery from Sweetie Pies? Like she just trying to come in there like she the chef, like she the one, and dressed all wrong. Candace said, didn't I tell you to wear this, that, and now you come up in here with some goddamn Heather Gray and this, that. Anyway, it seemed like everything was going off without a hitch. It seemed like it was smooth. Todd said, listen, let's go downstairs so I can show you the event space that we have created down here too. So they all sat there, had a little speech, whatever. Candace did a rehearsed impromptu fly above the haters. Then all of a sudden we get a break from that, and Todd and Peter is sitting upstairs just kind of chatting away, doing what they doing, and in walks this chick, Shireen. Shireen said, Mr. Todd, hey, I'm Shireen, Apollo Nida's girl. He sent me by. Of course he can't be here in person to send his congratulations. I was like, what I'm gonna do with this woman? Peter said, what you need to do is just take her and introduce her to the ladies and get up out of this. Now, I got a problem with Todd on this one. You knew that there was a great possibility that this girl was going to show up at this event. What you're not going to do as a husband is know that a missile is coming your direction and you don't warn your wife that a missile is coming. Okay, if the missile does not ever be launched, like Japan has been doing for years, and North Korea, South Korea, all them places, if they don't ever launch it, great. But at least let me know that they got that joker pointed in my direction, that it might come, so I can be prepared. But no, Todd takes his tail and brings the girl down there to the ladies, and the ladies was like, Shireen Nida, Apollo Nida's girl. They said, hold on, wait a minute. What? Hold on. Okay, so now how long you been knowing Apollo? This girl said she been knowing Apollo for 4 years. Candace said, let me ask you this. She said, I'm not trying to be rude and all up in your business, but was you and Apollo friends pre-jail? After? She said, well, been 4 years, and put it to you this way. I've been there in ways that his wife has not been. So Kenya was like, hold on, wait a minute, huh? What? He? Conveniently, Apollo calls on the phone and it's like, hey boo, how you doing? She said, I'm at the restaurant. I say hello to your friends. Candace was like, listen, Apollo, I'm not trying to be funny or nothing, but this right here puts me in a predicament where it makes me look shady as I don't know what. Your girl could have been here tonight, and your girl Shireen is here. She gonna think that we had something to do with you coming, sending this girl through, and that we knew she was coming. I ain't got nothing, I don't want none of this messy stuff going on. Apollo was like, listen, I got an upgrade. She ain't my girl. We about to be divorced. That's about to be a wrap. Candace said, hold on, wait a minute. Again, come again. I thought y'all were divorced. He said, no. He said, you know, I got a couple of meetings this week or whatever. You know, stuff is in litigation and all that stuff. He said, but no, as of right now, we're still married. He said, well, she already told us that she was divorced. He said, no, negative, but she about to be. So y'all be real nice to the future Mrs. Nida. Then they're gonna Kenya said, Lord have mercy. So I see Apollo went out there and got him some vanilla. So I guess we can't be mad at Miss Frazier for going out there getting her some Mr. Chocolate. I said, oh Lord Jesus, straight from the VA, the dirty, dirty South. Two up, two down.